Hey, what's up guys? This is Timon here. Welcome back to another episode of playing Gemstone Legends. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about the patch that has just gone live. So we should have the latest update at this point, and they pushed out the changes on their server side. So all of the latest updates from the patch is now in the game. And they did reward us with some relics as part of compensation for some of the issues that occurred this week. I will have more details about that in an upcoming video where I summarize the events of the week. But we actually now have a chance to take a look at the relics. So what I want to do in today's video is go through the first part of the video to show you these changes, what they look like, and where to access some of these new things. And then the second part of the video, what I want to do is I actually want to show you a follow-up to my Celeste video, where I've come up with a team that's really useful in Arena, which also works out because there's an update to Arena also. So let's go ahead, let's take a look, and we're going to start by taking a look at Relics. So Relics is a new thing that is going to be essentially the same as your equipment. Okay, so we got 3 of them. The way to access it is to go through the equipment side, and then on the bottom left you'll see a slot where you can click on. When you click on it, then you're going to see the Relics section. And here they are, they show you the various different relics you have. So the 3 relics that we got as players is an offensive one called Faint, and Healthy. Healthy is one that increases health. This one increases attack, and Sturdiness increases defense. These can all be upgraded. So to upgrade, it requires you to get parchments. We also got parchments as a part of the compensation, and it will cost a total of 1,000 parchments to upgrade this to max. And then you can increase your level of defense, attack, etc. For now, I recommend just saving it for the future because we are going to get more relics. And so it's always better to just kind of wait and see so that you can actually use it on something that may be more useful. For now, what I've done is I've actually put my relics on the various different heroes I use in my Arena defense. And so I have a 10% increase for my Algath, 10% health for my Helica, and then 10% defense for my Calum. Okay, so 10% attack on Algath is actually really good. And the way this works is these values only are shown during battle. Okay, so you can see that there's a 10% increase in attack, but then you may notice that it's actually not going to change the value in here. So what you can do is you can actually go ahead and remove. It's free, completely free to remove equipment, so don't worry about it. You can equip and unequip as many times as you want. It's not like equipments where you actually need to spend gold. This one's absolutely free, but you can see here the attack value 5172 does not change when I equip it. And the reason for that is because this is the same as a passive ability where you will only see the change once you go into battle. So don't worry if you don't see any changes. This is by design. All right, so this is Relic. More of them are coming. In fact, in the official Discord server, they actually shared a preview for another one called Blade of Agony. I'm just going to put that image here. It is pretty insane. So it's a legendary relic, so you can see that compared to a rare relic where it only has 1 status update, a boost. This one has 4. Okay, it does have additional requirements. You do need to pay attention to who you can put it on, but this is the first one that we can expect to see next week, so it's pretty exciting. Right, so that's Relic. So that's one of the big changes that I think is really cool. Another change, there's 2 more, or actually 3, I think, that are mostly changes that are good that people are going to be excited about. First one is, for me anyways, when you look in the heroes, under the filter, you can now filter for anything that you could possibly want to ask for. Maybe there's still more, but this really does address most of the things that I personally usually look for. So you can check for things like leader ability. So if you wanted to have a leader ability to say, hey, I'm always short on critical rate, or I'm always short on speed. So you can do something like this where you can multi-select and then save, and then it will look through your list of heroes and show you who has either critical rate or speed leadership. Okay, and so this is something that you needed to look outside the game for before, and that was really useful. The other one is also skill effects. A very, very common one is cleanse. So what are the heroes that will go ahead and cleanse the positive stats of my opponents? And if you select here, Cleanse is for cleansing the debuffs here. So you can now see who is going to be able to cleanse your own allies. And then another one is going to be strip. Strip is the one that is going to remove the positive buffs from your opponents. And then when you click on this, now you can see. So this is an extremely, extremely good quality of life change I really am happy about. And so take advantage of this. Now you can search for anything you want in the game for which heroes has which actual updates that you like. And then you can also check for specific heroes that have these type of statuses in their skills, or maybe just in the passives or active. So you can take a look and see, I want to see a positive skill of Invincible. Now I know that there's Polina and Lenora that actually will give me positive stats of Invincible. This is amazing. All right, I can't stress this enough how happy I am about this change. It could be just me. Let me know in the comment below though, like how what you think your favorite changes in the game. But I think this is a really big one. I've been wanting this for a very long time since I started playing the game, and so I'm very excited for this change here. And then if you don't want to see this anymore, just go ahead and clear it, and then you'll go back to your normal view. Okay, the next one is one that I talked about in the stream earlier that is a little bit controversial, and that is in the altar. Now you can add a desired hero to your wish list. So when you click on it, you will see that you can select any rarity of the heroes that you like, including legendaries. And basically every hero that has been released so far is available here, including some of the most recent ones. You can see there's Kanai is one of them, and then if you look over here as well, they already have I think this is one of the latest ones, Satare, right? It's in here, and I think the only ones that you won't be able to request for are the Astral heroes. Okay, so those are the ones that you can't get, but all of the non-Astral heroes are available here. It does cost 2,500 for a legendary hero, so that is the one I called out as, it's not something that everyone's going to be able to have access to. Another thing that a lot of people have been talking about, though, is rare heroes is now... There's such a big pool of it. You can see just how many rare heroes there are now, and it could be very difficult to find the exact one that you need for fusion purposes. Like if you're a newer player, you're looking to fuse. Well, for 250 gems, you can actually now set it, and then as you open scrolls or as you obtain rare heroes, you will get the exact one that you need for fusion purposes. In the long run, it is going to save you resources. So I think that this is indeed actually a good change. And so I think rare is probably the best bang for your buck. But a lot of people I've seen, they've been looking for that one legendary that they cannot find. And so for them, it was worth the 2,500 gems to get what they need. It may not be for everyone, it may not be for you, but just wanted to call out this is the change that's available and this is how it works. Okay, and you can also take a look at the informational here. It tells you what the requirements are and what the changes are. This one will give you a 25% boost the entire time. And then when there's an altar for that specific hero you want, it bumps it up from 50% from the altar. It adds the additional 25%, so it makes a 75% chance of you getting that particular hero. And if you get a legendary, let's say you put 2,500, you get the legendary, but it's not the one that you wish for. The third time this happens, it's going to be guaranteed you'll get that hero. So at most, it'll be 2 heroes before that's not what you want before you get the one you care about. And it also tells you for other rarities how many heroes there is going to be before a guarantee one shows up. So all of the information is in here. Take a look. Again, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this change. I've already talked about in my stream, but I just wanted to share this one more time. Finally, the last thing I want to talk about, and this is where I'm going to use the opportunity to show a team that I really, really enjoy, and I'm going to show you some alternatives as well, is the arena changes. So they've implemented this change where in arena, as long as you don't re-roll, if you can get up to +5 for your arena score, if you can win basically without re-rolling. So as you keep winning, you'll get the +5. That's the maximum addition you can get. So you can see I was able to get +5 at this point, and I will keep going until I re-roll. Once I re-roll, then you lose that 5 extra bonus. Okay, and what I wanted to show is this team where, you know, you could actually, I'm going to go in here because I see one that I think might be reasonable for me. So this is the team I wanted to show. So I talked about Celeste as a really good hero that can both heal and also provide mana. And then what I didn't talk about is when you combine them with like heroes like Streetblock and Sigil, it just makes it a complete mana like generation factory. And so this will allow you to use your skills a lot. And what makes Celeste different compared to just regular mana generator is the fact that you can heal. So this is something that's always sort of been missing. Like when you add just the mana generator like Sigil or Streetblock, the problem is if you don't have a healer on the team, you could eventually fall to any big attacks from your opponents. Well, now you have somebody that can heal and heal by quite a bit. And then you can also pair Algath. So I already also gave him an attack boost as well. So he's going to be able to generate more damage. And so what we're going to do is I'm just going to show you how the mana generation looks like. And this is what's really nice here also is because there is the Astral Heroes that can get get mana from any gem matches. As long as you can start with, getting your, you can start by getting your gem matches and then your starting, like hero, in this case for me, Sigil, you can get her to max out her skills. You can also activate, the other heroes pretty easily. And so in this case, unfortunately, because I got completely silenced, we are going to have to see, and luckily for us, we're not going to need to worry about getting stunned by Tycho, but what I'm going to show you is here. Okay, so here's the sequence of really what I'm talking about. The reason why I think this is such a good setup here is because of how much mana I can actually get. So here, you see that we actually lost some health. And so what I can do is I can actually heal, Celeste first and generate some mana. And then I'm going to also use Sigil to get more mana here. And then we're going to go ahead and basically, just do some more matches. And here we are with, Celeste ready to go. And we're going to be able to get both Sigil and Streetblock, and we have Algath all ready to go already. And so there is just a lot of things that we can, just a lot of ways that we can just keep going here and keep the momentum going once it's our turn. Okay, and because I'm able to use Calum to block a lot of the attacks here, and I can use Sigil to actually cleanse. It's going to be very helpful here because generally this is where we have issues where these negative stats become a real big problem, right? They can become a real big problem here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to cleanse our way. Okay, so we're going to lose some health here, but usually this is the issue where we can't actually, we can't actually survive a lot of hits like this. But with this setup in mind, like you can just see how many times we're actually using our skills at this point, right? And we're able to take out Tycho-san here, and then we're going to go ahead and activate Algath one more time, and then I'm going to wait one turn because we are silenced here, but we can go ahead and just continue the process again, and you can just see how often we're able to access to basically activate our score. This is actually not an easy team to go up against normally, and usually it's always because of just the difficulty in obtaining mana. And so this is really a good mana generating system here. So we've got two different heroes that can actually three different heroes that can generate mana for us, and also have a hero that can cleanse, another hero that can basically soak up all the damage. This is really just an incredible setup I found so far. It is very solid. in that it is, I find that it doesn't have a lot of issues where you have one particular hero that might be too weak, or there might be one thing that's just like missing. This one I feel has a lot of everything I'm looking for, right? And so I have ability to boost my attack. I can heal because Algath deals damage to everyone, and I can actually go ahead and just activate everything multiple times. So you saw how many times I was able to activate my skills there, and oops. I selected the wrong thing there, but you can sort of just see what I'm talking about here. And we're going to go ahead and, here we can use Celeste's skill one more time to take care of Helica. And with this, we're going to take care of Streetbach as well. And so this is the primary main team that I am currently using for Arena. But you could also use a different setup here where I'll go back to the Arena team and I'll show you a different setup here. So if I would just go in, you can also take out Sigil here. Not a lot of people have all of the heroes that I'm talking about here, but one of the really good heroes that you could use is Bruxa. So I also use Bruxa because Bruxa, I guess I haven't actually filled out her... I actually set this up on my phone, but I guess the changes didn't bring over. But I have her, focused with speed, and she restores 50 mana to an ally. It used to be a lot more before they nerfed her, but she's still very good. What you can do is you can use Bruxa. You can choose which hero gets the 50 mana. With Celeste, with Streetbach, you're going to be able to get a lot of mana just out of it. And so one of the things that I think is really good here is, even if you don't use this setup, Streetbach and Celeste on their own is really good. Bruxa is a very easy hero to get as a rare hero. You can get her for mana generation. There's other heroes that can do mana as well. So you can do something like this. Here we're going to do a search. All right, so let's do a search and say, add mana. Who do I have that will be able to add mana? And we're going to go ahead and take a look here. Actually, let's look in the storage. We'll do a filter, and then we will say, of my heroes, who can actually add mana for me? And so you can see here's a full list of heroes that can add mana. This is something that was really difficult to do before, but now you can do so. So I showed you, Bruxa as an example. There are other heroes that can add mana. So for example, here is, Turret. It's just a matter of how much mana you can actually generate, right? You've got Boyka that also gets a little bit of mana at the beginning of the turns. So you can but you can sort of play around and you can see, right? Another one that's also a really good hero is Ong, also restores mana to allies. So here's an example, okay? And then the other one would be, if you don't have Calum, well, you don't need to worry about that. You can also replace Calum with another hero. Basically, what you want to do is you can change this up for a defender. Okay, and here we're going to go ahead and, basically what we would do, we would look for a skill effect that maybe has taunt, right? And let's see, is there taunt in here? So that's a skill effect. So we're going to look for a positive stat, and then we're going to look for taunt. And here you can see which heroes have taunt. We can choose Martin, Najar, Alexander for my team, for example. So we can change this up, and then we're going to change this, as I mentioned earlier, is going to be the hero that can add mana, and that is going to be Bruxa. And then if you don't have Elgath, the hero that I really like personally is, I can go ahead and change this out, is going to be the yellow epic, and that is Masako, right? So you can also do something like this as an alternative, right? So what you can do here is you can use Streetbach and Celeste with Bruxa as the support to help you generate more mana. Martin and Masako. Now, in this particular case, I probably wouldn't go with Martin just because I don't want to have 3 yellow heroes. I will probably end up going with a red Najar just so that I can sort of change this up a little bit, or maybe I can use Alexander. But the point here is the team that I'm using, you don't have to use a specific sort of setup that I have. What you can do is just kind of think about what is the goal here, and that is to generate as much mana as possible. Celeste is a healer on top of that so that she can keep your team alive. especially useful for some like Masako, because Masako needs to have full health to do the double damage. And so it's a very good synergy. Okay. And so to me, I wanted to share this with you because this doesn't require you to depend on a, you don't need to depend on a debuffer. You don't need Zarkon or some of those other heroes, and you need to fight, with people who have a lot of immunity, and you have healing yourself. You're not really dependent on too much long-standing positive stats that somebody else could strip away. And so this is a pretty stable team setup composition, in my opinion, and you can have a lot of variations that's very similar here. But Celeste here is a very key player, in my opinion. I really think that she is one of the top tier levels heroes in the game. So if you do get her, I highly recommend that you level her up, check it out, and then try it out in your own setting. So that's going to be it for me. I know it's a little bit of a longer video, basically uncut, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I will come back tomorrow, I think, with a new hero that's been introduced. I'll talk about that. And again, look for another video over the weekend where I do a week summary for the game as well. So that's going to be for me, everybody. Take care. I'll see you next time. Bye now.